I now give the floor to those council members who wish to make statements. I pass the floor to Guyana.
Thank you, Madam President. I thank Secretary General Guterres for his briefing and acknowledge the participation of the permanent representatives of Iran, Syria, and Israel in today's meeting. Guyana is alarmed over the recent escalation of tensions between Israel and Iran, especially in a region that is already experiencing intense conflicts. We urge the parties to exercise maximum restraint, to desist from launching further retaliatory attacks, and to seek the path of peace. Any further attacks will have devastating region-wide consequences, and also for the wider international community. The world cannot afford another war, and the Middle East certainly cannot afford another war. The attack on Iran's diplomatic facility in Damascus earlier this month and Iran's attacks on Israel yesterday have only served to heighten tensions in the region. We urge the parties to abide strictly with their charter obligations and to avoid a larger conflagration. As with any conflict, it is always innocent civilians who bear the brunt, with women and children suffering disproportionately. We are seeing, for example, how civilians in the occupied Palestinian territory and other parts of the region are already reeling from unprecedented levels of suffering as a result of the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine. Madam President, Guyana further calls on countries of the region to fully comply with their international obligations and to uphold the principles of respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity. We also demand full adherence to international law, including the United Nations Charter, and for the parties to settle their differences through peaceful and lawful means. Madam President, violence begets violence and compromises peace and security. Guyana reiterates its call on all parties to choose the path of peace and dialogue. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Guyana and pass the floor to Sierra Leone.